All right then, so we are in the final part of our video. So all we have to do is to get back over here. We need to bring this applicant details. So let's go ahead and bring that applicant details. So let me close all this, close all. All right, so let me close all of that. And now let me get back to we have to inside our admin mode and get back into the jobs. So let's get into the app dashboard, routes, admin, and let's get into the jobs. Inside the jobs now we should do we should come inside the job ID, and inside this job ID we need to create a new folder called applicants. Okay, and inside this I'm going to create the page.tsx, and let's say sfc job applicants page, div job applicants page, save it. And now if I click this applicants, it should go to the jobs, job ID, and the applicants page. Click it, that should take you to that specific job applicants page. Right, we are inside that specific page. All right, so here now what we need to do is, so we need to first get that specific job ID. So we can simply do that, which we already have it in our page itself. So just I'm going to copy and paste it over here, params, job ID and everything. Perfect. Then right after here I need to get the user ID. So const open from auth, I'm going to get that user ID, save it. Then I need to fetch the job information. Job is equals to await db dot job dot find unique, open it. Then use the var, open it, and supply the ID, which is going to be the params dot job ID. Then it should be the user ID. All right, and it should be as user ID, should be the user ID as string. Perfect. Now we have the job. So here what I need to do is, if I don't have the job or if I don't have that user ID, we need to simply return the user. If I don't have the job, redirect that user to /admin/jobs. All right, so in case now all I have to do is to, if you do have the jobs and everything, and I need to get the profile informations, whoever applied for that specific. So let's get the profiles. So let's get the profiles is equals to await db dot user profile dot find many, open it, include the resume, open it, and order by the resume by using created at field in the descending order. Save the changes. Now we have the profiles informations, and now let's get the jobs informations equals to await db dot job dot find many, open it. Okay, so here we need to fetch the job based on what, where the user ID should match that user ID as strings. We need to fetch the jobs only created by that specific user. Then we need to include the company, which is should be true. Then we need to include the category, which is should be true. All right, then also we need to include order by, which is should be created by using the descending order. Save those changes. Now we have the profiles and as well as the jobs. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to filter the profiles based on the applied jobs. Okay, so just like exactly the same way which we do on the user profile on the previous video we did, right? So just like the same way we need to do that. So if I have the profiles and I need to say profiles dot filter, I need to say filter, I need to oh, come on, filter, open it, get the single profile out of it, Then what I need to do is I need to open the value. Oh, we don't need to do anything. So here I'm going to say profile dot applied jobs dot sum. Using the sum method, I'm going to get that applied job out of it. I need to make sure that applied job dot job ID should be equals to the params dot job ID. So we can figure it out this job ID applicants alone. Okay, so now we have that filtered profiles over here. Bingo. So we fetch the complete profiles. From this profile, we filter the profiles whoever applied for this specific job ID. Okay. Now, then what I need to do, I need to bring the columns. If you check it out over here, we have the full name, email, contact details, resume, and the date over here. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to create the columns. So let's get back over here. Where we did displayed. So I'm gonna copy this columns and let me get back over here and paste it inside here, underscore components, paste it over here, columns. Okay, so don't worry about this issues and all those things, we can fix that. So first what we need to do, wherever the term jobs, it's been jobs column, I need to duplicate it, and then I'm going to change this to applicant columns. Then I need to have full name, then I need to have email, then I need to have contact, then I need to have the applied at. Open the schema. I need to get this applied at, get that applied at. Then I need to bring the resume, which is going to be the string itself. Then I need to bring the resume name, that is also going to be the string itself. Okay, so these are the objects that we need to bring. Okay, so first we need to bring the full name, copy the full name, supply here, and change this to full name. Full name. Oh, come on. Full name. All right, then we need to display the email, which is going to be, let me copy this and let me replace this. Instead of full name, this is going to be the email. So paste it and change this to email. Then we need to bring the contact number, right? So let me copy the contact and let me supply the category. Instead of that, I'm gonna say contact. Then we need to display the resume, right? So for that, we need to display the, where it is, get the resume, and company contact. Instead of this, I need to bring the resume, and simply I'm going to keep the header as simple as that, not as a complicated one, because that's a place where we are going to bring the custom cells. Okay, so I'm going to say resume. Okay, then we need to bring the applied at, copy the applied at and supply it for the created at instead of that. Okay, and here we need to bring the selected and rejected. So far we have those edit and applicant, something like that. So let's leave it that part and save these changes. Okay, let's check it out how it's looking. So now we have this column, and let's get back to the page.tsx. So in the page.tsx, now we have the formatted filtered profile, and now we have to get the formatted profile. So const formatted profiles, which is going to be the applicant columns array. Okay, so now let's get the filtered profiles dot map, open it and get the profile out of it, create the value object. Okay, so let me bring the word wrap so we can see completely. All right, so now first we need to get the ID. So ID, which is going to be the profile dot user ID, then full name, which is going to be profile dot full name. If it does have the full name, then use the profile dot full name full name, otherwise keep it as an empty string. Then we need to get the email. If the profile does have the email, use the profile dot email otherwise keep it as an empty string. Okay. Okay. So right after this email, then what we need to do, we need to get the contact, which is going to be profile.contact. If it is say so, then use the profile.contact, otherwise keep an empty string. Then we need to supply the applied at. So profile dot applied jobs dot find, we need to find that job ID. So get the job out of it, then that job ID, job.job ID should be equals to params.job ID. If it is say so, then get that applied at date. Then if it is that, we need to do the same stuff by sending it into the format from what date fns function. Format, open it, new date, open it, and inside this function you need to supply your this same logic again. Profile dot applied at, copy it, supply it over here. Okay, otherwise keep it as an empty string. Okay, if it is say so, right after here I'm gonna say month, date of year. Okay, so this is, we are getting an error over here. Why we need to, this is not, wait a minute, let me cut this out and let me delete this thing. So here I need to get the format, open it, and here get the new date, then supply the month, date of year. So that is okay. Format is the date fns alone. Perfect, fine. So now we don't have that issue. Paste it over here. Perfect. Then right after, if it is not, simply supply the empty string. And right after here, then I need to supply the resume. So this is how it should looks like. So far we don't have the resume yet, so let's get the resume. So resume is going to be from the profile.resumes. I'm gonna find, open it, get that resume out of it. The resume.id should be equals to profile.active resume id. If it is say so, then get that URL. If it is not, keep it as an empty string. Okay, then I need to get that resume name, right? So I can simply say resume name, which is going to be profile dot resumes dot find, open it, get the resume out of it. Resume dot id is equals to profile dot active resume id. If it is say so, get the name out of it, otherwise keep it as an empty string. Now you will not get any type error in the formatted profile because we created all those things. All right, okay, fine. Okay, perfect. And now for this division, class name, let's make sure flex column, then padding, it's going to be 4, medium padding, it's going to be 8, item center, justify center, make sure it's a flex, save it. All right, so now inside here what I need to do is, I'm going to delete it, I'm going to get the box, add components box, close it. Then I'm going to create custom bread breadcrumbs, enter, and let's say breadcrumb page which is going to be applicants. Then I need to supply the breadcrumb item, which is going to be the array, which is going to have the objects, array of object, which is going to say link, which is going to be slash admin slash jobs, comma label, which is should be jobs. Copy and paste it, add comma at the end. This time this is going to be that job title. Dynamics, open the dynamic string literals, get the job. If job, then I need to get the job dot title. Otherwise, keep it as an empty string. Save it. Okay. So now this is how it should looks like: home, jobs, graphic designer, and applicant. Okay. Perfect. So now I need to bring that data table. Div class name, which is going to be margin top 6 and width of course full, enter, and here let's bring the data table, add components UI, enter. Here search by columns, supply the columns over here dot component slash columns, and data which is going to be formatted profiles, then search key which is going to be full name, search the user by the full name. So now we have that. Okay, so for this applicants we don't have anything. Let's get back to the jobs, and let's say up this one, click the applicants. Yep, here we go. So we have the applied user information over here, right? So now we are having that resume over here. So what we need to do is we have to customize that resume. So let me get back to the columns of the job components over here, the place where I'm displaying, not this one. Where is the applied columns? Open this. Okay, so this is the place where we are displaying the resume, right? So I'm going to keep it as the resume as it is. Then I'm going to get this cell out of it, open it, get a callback function, and inside here I'm going to get an object which is going to be the row itself. Then open it, const from the row dot original data. I need to get only the resume and the resume name. Okay, then return, open it. So this time this is going to be a link tag from the next link, close it, and here href, which is going to be the resume itself, so the user can open that resume, and the target, which is going to be the blank target, which means it's open in the next link, next tab, class name, flex item center, text should be text purple 500. Save it, and now you will not see anything over there, nothing. Resume will be empty, and I need to bring the file icon from the Lucid React. Make sure it is from Lucid React. Then class name, width of course 4, height of course 4, margin right which is going to be 2. Then over here I'm going to bring a paragraph tag which is going to display that resume name, which is going to have the styles as width. Of course it's going to be 44. If it is going more than that, it should be truncate that name. So this should looks like something like this. Now if I click this, user will be, he can able to see that specific user in a separate resume in a separate page. And now if I click over here, I need to bring the button actions. So what I'm going to do is, so this thing I'm gonna delete, I'm gonna literally cut it out, cut it. So basically this is going to return cell action as a separate component. So let's go here and create a new component called cell actions.tsx, and here we should make this as the client component. Use, let's make sure this as a client, use client, and RAFC as say cell actions. Okay, and let's bring that cell actions over here from there. and save it. Okay, now we have the cell actions over here, and let's bring all those things inside over here. So I'm gonna simply paste it, and let me get back to the columns, and let me bring this, cut it, paste it, and let me bring this cn as well as cut it, paste it, and let me bring, copy this, we don't need this, and we don't need this. So let's remove the unwanted import statement, and let me bring it over here. Now let's bring the button as well as, and let's bring the link as well as, oops, not Lucid React. Make sure link should be imported from next link. It doesn't have this ID, don't worry, because we need to create an interface over here. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to create an interface cell action props, open it. It needs the ID string, then it's need that full name as a string, then it need that email because we need to send an email, right? That's the reason we are fetching the full name and the email. Then let's destructure it over here as from cell action props. So let's get that ID, full name, and the email. Let's get back over here and let's scroll all the way to the bottom, and let's apply the ID, full name, and the email. So along with this, I need to get that full name, email. Okay, so here I'm just going to say ID as ID, then full name, which is going to be the full name, then email, which is going to be the email. So save these changes and save these changes. Okay, now you will see the cell actions itself like this again, now without any error. Now what I have to do is get back to the cell actions one more time. This time what we need to do is I'm going to create two different states over here in order to do that. So first let's create these states. Use state snippet is loading. By default it should be false. Then use state snippet, which is going to be is rejection, and set is rejection as false. Okay, these are the two different states. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so first in the drop down content over here, I'm simply going to delete everything. The drop down content needs to be clean. So over here, if it is loading, which means if it is loading, we should say bring the drop down menu item, which is going to load that loader to icon with the class name as width as 4, height as 4, and animate spin. And for this drop down menu item, class name flex item center and justify center. All right, if it is not loading, in that situation I'm going to bring this same drop down menu one more time, paste it. Instead of this loader, I'm going to bring the badge check with the class name of this, copy it and paste it over here. Instead of animate spin, I'm going to say margin right as 2. Right after here, I'm going to say selected, save it, and I'm going to copy it and paste it. If it is rejection, then it's going to do that loader, and this time this is should be loader. Let's try this style. Instead of that, this is going to say rejected. The user is not selected. Let's use the ban from the, so this is how those things should looks like, selected and rejected. Now all I have to do is to we need to create two different functions, one for sending the selections and another one for sending the rejections. So for this drop down menu item, I'm going to say on click, I'm going to send the send selected, and for this on click, I'm going to say send rejected. Okay, so let's get back to the top, copy it, and right after here const on send selected as a callback function, and copy and paste this one more time, copy the send rejected and paste it over here. Okay, these are the two different functions. both of them should be an asynchronous function. Okay, so which is exactly what we are going to do. We are going to send an mail. That is what we are going to do, just exactly the same way what we did for the API with the thank you. We are going to send the rejected mail and we are going to send the selected mail. Okay, so what we can do is, let's get to the API over here, thank you, and let's open it. This is what exactly we need to copy it, and here I'm going to open a new folder inside the API. So in this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new name called send selected. Okay, and here I'm going to create a new file called route.ts and I'm going to paste it. Okay, so now if you are sending the mail, what it is supposed to be, this is going to be congratulations for the user for selected for the second round. So congratulate the user for the selected for the second round. So what we need to do is, for compiling the selected mail, you should have the selected template. So you can open the be free mail and you can create yourself a own selected mail design. Wait a second, let me refresh it. Okay, it's loading. I don't know why it's taking this much long. Come on, get me to the file, my workspace. Okay, so here I have my rejection mail and I also have that selected mail. So basically I just created these mails from the available templates. You can save your times and copy that from there and you can send it. You can use that templates. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply copy, wait a minute, edit this email. Okay, now I'm opening it. There we go. This is what the congratulations. So let me export it and let me copy this and copy the HTML code. And now all I have to do is to get back to the library folder, get to the designs, and let me create a new file called send selected.ts. And here, just like the same way what we did for the thank you, you should say export const send selected template as what, as a dynamic string literal. Open the dynamic string literal and paste it inside here, save it. Just like the same way, what I'm going to do, I'm going to close this. I'm going to get that previous template, which is should be the rejection mail. Let me open that rejection mail and I'm gonna copy this export, copy this HTML code, copy this HTML code, and here I'm gonna create one more file called send rejection template.ts. Okay, so here export const send rejection template as a dynamic string literals and paste it, close it. Okay, let me rename this file as a template. We don't want to do that. Okay, fine. All right, so now we have all those things. Okay, so here this is the congratulations, and now what we need to do, compile this thank you, just like the same way what we did for this compile that thank you mail. We have to do the same stuff for what, for thank you and rejection mail. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it 2 more times. So thank you, and this time instead of this thank you email, this time this is going to be send selected email, and this time this is going to be send rejection email template. So instead of thank you template, we should send this send selected template, and instead of this send rejection template. That's it. Save it. Let's get back to the route. This time this is compile selection template, send the selected template, not this rejected template. We don't need that. Okay, send the email, and this is going to send the mail, and Yep. Now what I need to do is I need to copy this and paste it one more time. This time this is going to be send rejection, and inside this go to the routes, and this time we are sending the rejection mail. So the text should be application update, and this time this is going to be compile send rejection template, something like that. So that's it. We don't have to change anything else, literally nothing. Close it and close this mail.ts. We don't need that. And now what I have to do is, let's get back to the cell actions, and inside the cell actions over here, what I'm going to do is, so here set is loading. That is the state which we used for send the selection. Set is loading as what? True. Then try and catch, open it. Inside here we are simply going to say the message is console.log something, and something happened, this toast message. And inside this try block I'm going to say await axios dot post, open it, slash API slash, let's get back to the API folder and select this send selected API. Then we need to send the email and as well as the full name to that. Okay, if everything is done, we are just going to say toast.success mail sent. Save these changes. If everything is perfectly fine, then let's say set is loading as what? False. Okay, now let's get back over here and let me check it out. Inspect the elements, refresh it, and let me get back to the networking, close it. Use context. What is the use context? Let's get back to the jobs. Okay, open this, edit. What? Open this, click as applicants. Okay, so here we go. So let me close this. So all I have to do is to click this and click selected. It is starting that selected option and it's saying mail, it is sent successfully. Now if I open my Gmail, I should able to see congratulations, you are selected to the second round, which is working perfectly fine. All right, and now let's go ahead and do the same stuff for rejected. In that situation, what I have to do is I'm going to copy this completely and I'm going to paste it over here. This time, instead of send selected, I'm going to say send rejected with this API send rejection. So save it and let me close this. And now if I click over here, send rejection, okay, and you can see we got the mail, application applied, update, we are sorry, we decided to not move forward with your application. Perfect. But why it is updating that one? Okay, so we are somewhere, we are making one mistake what it should be. Okay, this is, instead of this, it's supposed to be set is rejection. That's the thing. Yep, now it should send the rejection mail properly. It's still sending. Yep, mail, it is sent. And if I check my application, if I get back over here, there we go. See, we got the mail. So we successfully implemented sending the mail option, displaying the applicants and everything. So now all we have to do is to get back to our saved jobs. So in the profiles, we displayed these information successfully, and we have to update the home page and we have to display the saved jobs, and that is what we are going to do now. So let's get back over here, close all, and close this, and let's get into the app dashboard. Over here, let's get into the routes. So inside the routes, now what we need to do is we need to say create a one more route over here, saved jobs. Open it, new file, page.tsx, and sfc saved jobs page, and here create the div. Let's save this as saved jobs. Save it. Okay, now you should see that it is showing as saved jobs. Okay, so now inside over here, what I'm going to do is it's a very simple thing. If you get it over here and if you check it out, if I click this exit option and if I click this save jobs, you should be able to see we have these breadcrumbs and saying that save jobs, we have the search parameters, and we have this job information. These are the jobs which I saved. Okay, so in order to do that, first I need to create the interface, which is exactly the same thing which we used on the search. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this interface and I'm going to paste it all the way to the top over here, search props. Then I'm just going to use it over here with the search props. Let's say search params. Perfect. And let me make this function as an asynchronous function, and right after here I need to get that user ID, const user ID, which is coming from where? From the auth. Okay, then if I don't have the user ID, I simply need to redirect the user to /home screen. Perfect. Then I need to get the jobs. Okay, so I need to get the jobs which is saved by the user. So const jobs is equals to await get jobs, open it, destructure all the search params, along with it supply the saved jobs, which is true. Okay, save it. Now it is going to give you the details, one is which is saved by the user alone. Now with this division, let's say class name, and let's make it as a flex column. Okay, and inside over here, let's close it, hit the enter, and let's bring the box, add components. Okay, so here this component is going to say class name, which is going to be margin top as 4, and item everything should be center, justify everything should be in the starting point, gap should be 2, margin bottom should be 4, and px it's going to be 2. Okay, inside here I'm just going to bring the custom breadcrumb and breadcrumb item, which is going to be empty array, and breadcrumb page, which is going to be saved jobs. Save it. You should be able to see that over here, saved jobs. Perfect. I think this is not necessary. Save it. All right, so now right after here I'm going to bring one more box, which is going to be class name, width of course, it should be full, height of course 44, bg purple should be 600, and divided by 20% of its color, and justify it in the center. Enter, and here I need to bring that h2 text which displays says as saved jobs, something like this. All right, and then right after here we need to bring that search container class name, px6 pt6 mod on the mobile devices, on the medium devices, from the medium devices onwards, margin bottom it's going to be 0, and here I'm going to display the search container which we already do have, so I can able to bring that search container over here. Then all I have to do is to bring that div class name padding 4 and hit the enter, and here I'm just going to say page content from the search, and I'm going to display the jobs with the jobs detail, then user ID with the user ID details. Now that is going to display the saved jobs informations. There we go. Okay, so it is not filtering the data based on the saved jobs. So what we have to do is we have to filter the data based on the saved jobs. So let's get into the get jobs. So we have the saved jobs, but we haven't applied any filters for it. So what we have to do is we need to make sure that it is getting that filtered. So if we have the saved jobs, then open it, query dot var dot saved. Let's open the schema and let's see what array we do have saved users. So let's get over here, get the saved users, okay, which is equals to open it has this user ID. So if that specific user ID is inside that saved users list, then we need to fetch that detail. So save it, and that will be included. And here we go. Now you will have only one job which is saved. So let me check it out. Let me get back to this search, and let me include this one, and let me include this one. So we saved this graphic designer and we saved this UI designer. Let me get back to the saved jobs, and you should see those details over here. Perfect. So now we have all those informations over here, and now even I can search for it. Let's say UI. There we go. We don't have the UI in this, but if I search for UX, that is going to filter that UX details over here. Bingo. Perfect. Which is working perfectly how we wanted it. All right. Which we the search container which we used in the search page is the reusable component, which is working perfectly how we wanted it, right? So the get jobs, and we displayed the saved job details, and now all we have to do is to get back to the home page, and let's get back over here and display all the necessary stuffs that we want to display in the home page. Okay. All right, so let me close everything, close all. If you check it out your home page, this is how it should looks like. In the home page, this is what it is looking like, right? So let's go here and let me collapse everything, get into the apps, dashboard, routes, and this is the home page where we are simply displaying it as the dashboard home page, right? So what I'm going to do is, so I'm just going to say this function as what asynchronous function, and I'm going to get few informations over here, which is the first one, which is going to be the user ID from the auth itself. Then I need to get the jobs, so const jobs is equals to get the jobs completely with an empty object instance. Then I need to fetch the categories, so categories, which is equals to await db dot category dot find many, open it, order by name, name, which is going to be the ascending order. Save it. Now we have the categories and all those things. Then let's get the companies details, await db dot company dot find many, open it, where the user ID should be the user ID as string, and order by, open it, created at descending order. So we should display the list of featured companies. Okay, we need to display all the users company, because these are all the featured companies which is created by different users, right? So we have to display all those companies over here. Okay, so companies and everything is fine. So save the changes. Now we have all those things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this here, and I'm going to say div class name flex column and py, which is going to be 6, PX, which is going to be 4, and space Y, which is going to be 24. And inside here, I'm going to say box. Make sure this is being coming from not Lucid React. It should come from where? It should come from add components. So let's say class name, which is going to have this specific styles. Flex, justify center, width, the space, Y, 4, and margin top as 12. Then I'm going to have, okay. So inside here, I'm going to bring that h2 tag, which is going to be exactly the same style which we used for the previous section. Text 2XL, medium device 4XL, font size, font bold, tracking white, neutral 600. That's a text color. So this is how that should looks like. Then right after this h2 tag, so let me bring the word wrap. So right after this h2 tag, I'm going to bring a paragraph tag, which is going to display the total length of the jobs which we do have so far. Okay, so jobs dot length. Okay, so I think I haven't used the await over here. Yes, so let me use the await over here. Save it. So that is going to display the total jobs which we created so far over here. Maybe in future it might have hundreds or thousands, something like that. Okay, so then what I need to do is we need to bring this the search bar. Okay, so now whenever I'm searching for this UX, it is going to push the, if I click the search, that's going to push the user to the search page with this UI. Okay, so that's the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring right after here, what we need to do is right after this box, I'm going to bring this home search container. So let me get back over here, and inside here components, I'm going to say home search container.tsx. Okay, let's make sure this as the use client and RAFC home search container. Let me delete this. Okay, so this home search container, which is going to be okay, so what we can do is so let's say use state snippet. Let's get the use state snippet. Let's get the title, and which is going to be string, and let's get the router, which is going to be use router from next navigation. Okay, and we need to get the click event, so which is going to push the same query string URL which we already do for everything. So I'm going to bring that over here. So q was from where? From query string. So we use the same code quite a lot in our every search page or a search container we use. You can simply copy it, create the URL to the /search, and the query should be title/title the string. If not, simply send it as an undefined. That is what this is going to be. Okay, so first what we need to do is we need to bring a division. So let's say class name and paste it. Width, of course, it should be full, item, center, justify center, hidden. It should be hidden on mobile devices, but from the medium devices it should be displayed back. Okay, so save it, close it, and you should see the let's bring this and let's import it, and you should be able to see that home container over here for right now, search container. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a box which is going to be okay. So for the time reason, I'm just copying the class names and I'm pasting it. So please pause the video and write the styles, okay, because it's already exceeded 16 to 18 hours, I think. So that's the reason. So here I'm going to bring the input, add components UI, and over here I'm going to say placeholder like search by job name, then type, of course it is going to be the text, then value, which is going to be the title, then on change, I'm going to get that event out of it, set title, set title, open it, e dot target dot value. Okay, then the class name should looks like something like this. Okay, something like this. So save the changes. This is how it should looks like. Then we don't need the outline as null. Let's keep the outline as the null. This is how it should looks. Okay, we already included the outline, right? Okay. On focus, outline none, focus border none. Save it. Still we are getting this. I am not sure why it is. Okay, let's fix that issue later. Okay, then right after here I'm going to bring a button, which is going to be a button at components. And for this I'm going to say on click, I'm going to say handle click. Then it should be disabled by the time if it doesn't have the title. If it doesn't have any title, this button should be disabled. Then class name should be bg purple 600. Then on hover, whenever I'm hovering it, it should be bg purple 700, right? Then for this size, I'm gonna say size, it's going to be the icon size. Enter, and it should have this search lucid react class name, width of course is 5, height of course 5, minimum width should be 5. Save it. This is how you should have. So now if I search for UX and if I click search, that is going to push you to this search page where you have this UX and you search for this. So this is how you should able to do that. All right, perfect. Now we have the home search container, and let's get back to our page.tsx. Okay, so then what we need to do is I need to bring this image which is coming from the assets folder, which I already have. You can use any image which you or whatever you have. I'm just loading that image from my local assets folder. So now I should have this image over here. It is not showing the image. Why? Inspect elements. So this is the where. Okay, I think I don't have that image. That's the reason. So where is this public folder images, job portal banner? Yep, I do have that, but why it is not displaying? Next image only. Yep, it is next image. Image is there, it's here. Not sure why it is not displaying that image. Oh, come on. Let me delete this. Let's load it in a different way then. Image. Let's say alternative text, it's going to be home screen banner. Then source, which is going to be /img/. Yep, that is where we do have, right? /img/ copy this banner.jpg. Then width, of course, it should be, let's say 100%. Okay, so it is not accepting 100. Then let me keep it as 1000. Height, let me keep it as 240 for the time being. Yep, now it's displaying that, but it doesn't make any sense when I'm trying to do, let's say box class name. It should be a relative position, overflow should be hidden and height should be 64, and justify everything in the center, and rounded LG, and margin top it should be 12. Inside here I'm gonna paste it, but this should be deleted. It should be fill, and let's say class name, width full, height full, object should be cover. Save it. Yep, it's gone. All right, so let's revert the changes then. If it is not working in this way, what we can do is we can revert the changes. Class name, width should be full. Save it. Okay, width property is missing. So let's say image width should be, save it. Now we got that image, and let's say class name, object should cover, object should cover it, then it should be rounded LG. Save it. Okay, there we go. So now it is working perfectly fine. I don't know why it is not taking that styles which we use quite a lot. It is not working. So anyways, it is fine. Okay. All right. So next what we need to do is we need to bring this categories list and everything. If you click this, it is going to search the data in the search page based on this specific category. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna create a new component. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you that code, which is nothing but exactly the same way what we did on the search box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new component over here called home screen categories container .tsx, and here let's say use client. Okay, and these are the things. So let me explain the code over here. Okay, so what we can do is instead of copying and pasting it, let us type one by one so you can understand what exactly it is happening over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. So let's work on this design in the next video.